What's up, guys? We're going on our first little road trip today. We're just at the side of the road, working out the kinks with the GPS. As far as my experience with Korean drivers on these rural roads, however, it's much better than Thailand. In Thailand, I only will like to drive in Bangkok because it's at slower speeds. In the rural areas, these trucks and stuff, they'll run you over. They have, you know, cargo hanging off in all sorts of weird ways. But in Korea, it's relatively predictable. We even just passed by like about 5 speed checkpoints. The speed is well regulated here. It's relatively safe. So that's why I'm willing to venture out a bit more here in Korea. So we're getting our gas filled. The gas is expensive, but for this guy, when I filled him up yesterday, it only cost me about $2. As far as the speeds here, most of the roads, they're like around 70 kilometers per hour, these bigger ones. And the local roads, they're about 60. There are some segments where it went up all the way up to 80. My scooter tells me I'm going over 70 because I feel a start vibration in my butt when it goes above 70. So I have an automatic speed limit alert. But my dad tells me as far as the speed limit cameras, they don't really catch the motorcycles because they're small and they also don't have front license plates. So I guess they can't really enforce it. We'll find out. My dad's been speeding more in his Speedy MSX. Although in this little scooter with these small tires, I'm really not comfortable going over 70 kilometers, honestly. I'll probably have to switch out the tires for longer trips. Alright, so arrived at our place of interest. I vlogged about it, but I don't know if I edited it. This is actually a really good Hanu or Korean beef restaurant. And this is actually quite far out, that I wouldn't really say it's the outskirts of Seoul anymore. Anyways, I'll film the eating part because people have told me not to skip out on that. Prices are pretty good for the quality of the meat, but this is a butcher first and a restaurant second. They have nice little side dishes here. This is a butchery. We are gonna pick out the meat and barbecue it. So something like this is about 30 USD. It's not on the cheap side, but the quality is fantastic. Just a bit of salt. 이거는 뭐예요? 몰라. I asked them what it is. They don't even know. They just know it's gonna be delicious. It's cooking super fast. Gotta eat it medium rare. But this one has the most flavor. This was the $30 one. Totally worth it. I'm so full. They're full too, and then they order some cold noodles, and they say they need to eat this. It's like dessert. Almost. 냉면에 배가 또 따로 있죠. Instead of using standard cold noodles, they're using buckwheat.
Delicious?
No. It's much more refreshing with all the little ice broken up in there. The Japanese have probably never tried this, but he says it tastes really delicious. Eating buckwheat noodles with kimchi. I don't know how this is gonna taste, but let me see. Honestly, everything tastes good with kimchi.
화장실 들어와서 담배를 뽕뽕 피고 나가지도 않는데.
This is definitely a better dessert than ice cream. Just finished. If you notice, there's one thing that's missing there. Unlike most Korean barbecues, we didn't dip our meat in sesame seed oil. The meat is that rich that you don't need to add anything else to it. All right, we're gonna be heading out to a coffee shop or something, but we also got some to go. And look how sensible they are. They throw in an ice pack in there so it stays cool. So a short drive. Came to a little coffee shop, although be chatting. Wow, this is a really nice area. Maybe I'll grab a smoothie before I head out. Nice little fountain up in the mountains. All good. But yeah, as I was saying, what's requiring me to get a bit more used to is in Thailand, I got really used to driving on the left-hand side of the road, that I'm having to reprogram myself to look left and right whenever I'm going through an intersection. So that's gonna take some used to, but I'm afraid once I get used to that and I go back to Thailand, I'm gonna have to readjust. So this is the trickiest part about driving in different sides of the road. But I've been listening to them talk about life, and when you talk to people their age, 60s, mid 60s, close to 70s, the conversations are a lot more different than when you're talking to people like my age in their 30s and 40s. You know, if you talk to guys in their 40s and stuff, mostly in their 30s, they're always giving advice such as, you know, you need to save money, you need to try to get financial independence, blah 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 blah, right? Because they're in that phase. And if you're in your 20s and, you know, 15, all you care about is just becoming famous and becoming popular, or, you know, getting a great girlfriend, blah blah blah. But when you get to their age, it's more interesting because they have far much more life experiences. And there's different ways you can interpret it. But basically, they start noticing how, you know, mortal we are. We're all gonna die. Because people all around them are dying. And not just old people, but they talk about how their friend just had a daughter who's only 35 and she was in her prime and just went away in 6 months because of cancer. Actually, a lot of these cases are cancer. Another one, just in her 20s, was becoming a famous ballerina, dedicated her life, died because of skin cancer. One of them, their wife, super healthy. Nobody, like, there's nobody else that would be healthier than her. Went to the gym every day, maintained her health. Diagnosed with, you know, terminal cancer. So it's less about, I guess, you know, try to make a lot of money, because your financial independence, a lot of money, honestly, that shit don't matter if you're gonna die. And at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters are the relationships and the connections you make. So that's important. And also, knowing that you're mortal, I guess you can interpret this a couple different ways. They're telling my father, like, you know, you should watch out, you know, driving a motorcycle, scooter, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, the other way you can interpret it is we're all just gonna die. You might as well enjoy life when you still can, when you're still able to. I guess that's sort of my mentality. So there's that little sequester to a scooter. Driving a scooter in Korea thing, because, you know, whenever you're driving scooters, it's something that we all think about. Motorcycle, anything, you're thinking, oh, we're gonna die because, you know, if you get in an accident, blah blah blah. Well, all you can do is just try to be safe. That's how I interpret it, but we're all gonna die anyways, so might as well make the most out of our life when we still can. On that note, I'm gonna let them chat a bit more about some very personal and tragic incidents. And up here is Puramsan, a very famous mountain. Wow, it's just like 5 minutes up. Famous temple. I'm sure this is a hiking trail. If I had more time, I definitely would be hiking up to the mountains if I knew we would be coming here. Wow. This is so beautiful. Look at this. This must be the cutest Buddha I've ever seen. I'm sure Mayu would appreciate this. Look at this little bell. Wow, look at this. I really want to climb up that mountain. I really like these smooth, rocky surfaces. Ah, that's a 5-step temple. All the things that Professor has told me about Buddhism is coming to mind. That these steps will be in odd numbers. 1, 3, 5. And he says the only one that would be even is 10, I believe. Look at this. They got, you know, I think this is like the year of the dragon, whatever. But then they have it in the form of a little soldier. That's the dragon, the rabbit, tiger, ox, rat. Oh, let's find the pig. Oh, this is me, a pig. Let's see what they say about me. To be honest with you, this Korean is just way too hard to understand. I think it says something like, people born in the year of the pig, they're gonna have a lot of possessions, blah, blah, blah. I really don't believe that crap. And if I'm an example of anything, unless they lied on my birthday, it's not true. I have not much possession. But look at this. Wow, so intricate. And look at the moss that's built up on the rock. Anyways, although I'd like to climb up further, I'm not going to be able to get back to my father when they finish talking in a quick enough time. So I have to get back to the motorcycle. But let me just say hi to these temple dogs. Temple dogs are the most chill dogs. Just like in Thailand. Yeah, hello. No, he's not. He's like, you okay? I touch you? I touch you? He's so chill, he doesn't care. Okay. Let's go. Let's leave. Alright guys, that wraps up my first day on the road here in Korea. Amazing sights. I gotta get the GoPro mount to show you the sights. Definitely subscribe if you like this video, because the future videos will get a lot better as I'm able to actually show you the roads and the sights that I'm seeing. Right now where I'm at, we came to the house that my dad's friend bought. So they ended up buying it. It's looking fantastic. And I'll also update you guys on the progress of their little renovation. So hope you guys have a fantastic week, and see you next week for more vlogs about living and traveling in Asia. My mom's stealing all the...
Yo, we're stealing, yeah.